All right, let's shift gears a bit and talk about EV maker Rivian, because those shares on the move this morning. Now the move coming after the company saying that sales in the current quarter would be slightly lower than expected. We're looking at a loss of just about 13%. Now they also said that they would issue $1.5 billion in convertible notes, debt that can be turned into shares, which has the potential to dilute holdings of current owners. Bittersweet, though, week for the company. Now, Rivian beating their quarterly delivery estimates. So I guess some signs of some relief here, at least earlier in the week for Rivian. But obviously, lots of questions just about the path forward for this company, what exactly that's going to look like. When we talk about the cash burn rate of the company, whether or not they would potentially need to raise more capital, even though they do say that liquidity is sufficient through 2025. I think that's one of the worries, one of the risks that the street is viewing when it comes to Rivian. Truist coming in saying that they actually see this as an increasingly positive setup into the third quarter print, just in terms of what we could see here from Rivian in the coming weeks. But you see a loss of 13% on shares today, so certainly there's still a lot of worry out there.
Yeah, and this coming the same week that we had just got some of those delivery production numbers for Rivian that we'll hear once again when they fully report earnings. But for the quarter ending September 30th, they had produced 16,304 vehicles at that manufacturing facility in Normal, Illinois, delivering 15,000 and a half of those, just a little bit more of that over the same period. So all of this said, that's roughly in line with expectations from what the company has said. We're going to be looking out for earnings to come on November 7th after the market close, but it's really just about making sure that they do have that liquidity, to your point, to be able to continue to produce these vehicles. And of course, for Rivian, I don't know, I've seen more of them around New York, more than...
That is true.
Yeah, there's a few of the facilities, and of course the model now that many of the car manufacturers, especially in the electric vehicle landscape, and really disrupted by the way Tesla goes to market and how they entered into the market as well. It's just basically a shop, like a storefront, basically, where they've got a bunch of these lined up. It's not your traditional dealership where you walk in and you see about 15 different models, and then they've got about 1,000 of them downstairs somewhere or even on a lot. This is different, and I think that for that experience, it's been fascinating to see where they can go more outside of just this dealership model that many of the legacy automakers have powered for decades at this point as well.
Yeah. Many of their models, though, they're pretty expensive.
They are pretty expensive,
Just
yes.
one of the
Yes,
headlines
indeed. Pretty penny.